Good Voch Rabbi. So, first picture. My name is Eli. I just turned 11 years old. My father asked me what kind of cake I wanted. Since I do the daf every day, I told him I want an MDY cake. I want to wish you on my birthday, hatzlacha, and thank you for your continued inspiration. 11-year-old Eli. I always say, this is Refuah the barber. I thought it's amazing. Here, listen to this email. I received 2 boxes of art scroll Kesubos Volume 3. This is a reminder to everybody to do your best. And if you have excuses, what? What are you saying, Gary? What's going on over there? Huh? Yeah, but I hope they're not related to the shear. So true. What's the problem? Follow the barber. Here we go. I received 2 boxes of art scroll Kesubos. What time are we finishing shear tonight? Huh? No. I received 2 boxes of art scroll Kesubos Volume 3 on Friday midday. That means we're almost in the art scroll Volume 3. How many days do we have left? I don't know. I put them in the car so I can drop them off by Refuah. I gave them to Refuah and then went into the wine store to buy a bottle of wine for Shabbos. When I got back to the car, my wife told me that she saw Refuah running into the pizza store with a handful of Gemaras. The next minute I saw him out of the pizza store and started to cross the street against traffic to catch a guy by the red light. Here's the picture. Here he is. So he's running from car to car, and understand that he's a barber, and his busiest day of the week is Friday. He doesn't care. He has to chop another guy to join Torah. It's unbelievable. What about you guys? Yeah, everybody has to take some cheshbon nefesh here. What, only he? Only he can be crazy. So, Gary, chill out a little bit. We hear everything. My wife said to me that he's going to get hurt running to the street in the middle of traffic. You have to shut down again? I said to her that you don't understand. This is every day for him. Sure enough, a few minutes later, Refuah sends me a picture of a brand new member of MDY, signed up on Erev Shabbos at a red light in Flatbush. All this on a Friday afternoon. The barber's busiest day. He told me that he desperately wants to go to Israel to sign up all the Chayalim. The entire Tzahal he wants to sign up in one shot. Shlomi Haskell from Monsey. You mentioned the other day how over 150 people dropped out. I said over 1,000, but okay. 150 people dropped out of the shir by Yevamis. Huh?
You said that told you personally.
Oh, 150 that told me personally. That's true. Yeah, but more than that, dropped out. I actually joined MDY Family at Yevamis Daf Beis. I was introduced by a co-worker after complaining. This is a great email. I like that. Introduced by a co-worker after complaining to him how concerned I was learning Yevamis myself, and he immediately showed me a shir and intro the Masechta where I introduced all the characters. I was hooked and never looked back since. Though I do miss the thrilling side of the characters and wish you could somehow incorporate them into the other Masechtas as well. Tonight we have them a little bit. P.S. Unfortunately, the guy who introduced me to MDY and ended up being a Yevamis casualty. So he's trying to make me feel good that he joined by Yevamis, but by the way, he knows of another person that fell off. I've been trying to recruit him ever since and was wondering if I end up being successful, can I claim a free Gemara being that he's not a new member? Yes. Bring those guys back, you get a free Gemara. I paskin. Nasano might not like it, too bad. The Koilel. Rabbi, so we have a bunch of guests here. One of them is, there are a bunch of chashuvim. First of all, we have Benny Gittleson from Manchester. Unbelievable. Finally. He wrote in a bunch of emails. I recognize him from the pictures. Unbelievable. It's a full circle now for me because, I started as a caterer, and one of my famous chasanas, the product of this chasana is sitting right here, doing the daf. What's your name again? Shalom? Shalom, okay, from Chicago. A Chicagoan that does the daf. It's unbelievable. But you never come to the live shir over there. No. So listen, for such a chashuv thing, that's my previous life. I can't believe. I bet you there's people that actually had kids that got married already. But look, such a chashuv zach deserves such. It brings my whole life. It's like a full circle. I started out over there as a caterer, and now I'm sitting here, and now this kid is learning the daf every day since. Katan, I got something for you. This is one of a kind. This is a special gift from me to you. All right. Wer ze heißt der Dalton? Lieberman. But we're Litvish over here. We don't go by the last name, we go by the first name. I'm Stefansky, dude. What's up, Lieberman? No, what's your first name? Lieberman. Huh? Isaac Lieberman. And you? Yitzchak Yosef. Okay. Shalom Aleichem. From, you said? Nubian Rabbi James. Okay. Come more often. And we have, no, he's not a guest. He comes on. You're up to the daf? You're up to the, I don't want to be advised. You up to the daf? Okay, great. Who else? Shalom Aleichem. What are you guys? What's your name? You. Yeah. And you?
Herman Weiss.
From? Oh, sounds very familiar. Scheinfeld. Herman Weiss. Yeah, we met in Chicago. West Hempstead. All right, the call is sponsored by Avi Rachel Kamiansky in memory of Rachel's mother, Reza Gidlovas Esther. Readers should be Melitza Yosher on behalf of us and our children. Second sponsor of the koilo for the success of our family and that we merit to always crown Hashem. The Masechta, somebody just sent me a message, Erev Shabbos, I got a Motzei Shabbos, that he wants to sponsor something really nice for the koil as a bonus for Yontif. So very nice. A lot of Hakar Satayv to that person. Masechta is sponsored Eli Nishmas, it's a Baruch by Moshe Aaron and Eli Nishmas, Moshe Elazar ben Shalom, and for that hatzlacha b'chol inyanim for my children. By Jeff Rosner, in zchus of my son Yosef Simcha Chaim ben Chana, Refuah Shlaima. The rest of the Masechta is sponsored by Ofishel Mitzva Motivators, the Refuah Shlaima, Abraham Mנשה, ben Chana, Brokha, Refuah Shlaima. I've never seen a guy who's so upbeat. I spoke to him on Erev Shabbos. It's unbelievable. His attitude towards this is unbelievable. Stage 4, and they're saying, we're fighting and we're getting it. And he's watching us now. I shouldn't say anything. Okay, Givaldi. Shkoyach Avi, you are going to be, it's very, very high. What's the word? Success rate or whatever, very high in that particular one. And the Parnas HaChodesh, last day. Everybody say, please down for them. It's not Revayim. Michael Bemela, Motty Perl and Aaron Hirsch want to make it to Uman. Last Motzei Shabbos we had here, what's his name? Goldring. He left right after the shir last Motzei Shabbos to make it for Uman Rosh Hashanah. Yeah, he's there. So, you make it over on Chana this year. Lili Nishmas Zachariah ben Moshe, and the third Parnas HaChodesh, the MDY Family. Lili Nishmas Ezra Yaakov ben Esanel Yitzchok, Ezra Pollak Shalom, the 2-year-old. And fourth Parnas HaChodesh by the Lock and Lebovic families, Lakewood NJ, because Torah is the best segula. Today, the Parnas HaYoyim, Marvin and Linda Diamond, Yartzeit for Father Louis Tolchin, Moshe Lei ben Yitzchok. And by Yehuda Shuk, thanks Yosef. Mazeh?
You mentioned his daughter.
What is?
You mentioned that his daughter was born.
Okay. Mazel tov. Yeah, Mazel tov, Yehuda Shuk. Okay. We have a very gishmak daf here. Stick around. We have a very interesting video I want to show everybody. Plus, I have an unbelievable pshat towards the end. A beautiful pshat will change your life. Says the Mishnah, brand new perek. If you're starting tonight, it's unbelievable. Brand new perek. Mitzias o isha umasi odel lebala. If a woman finds an object, so this is the same kind of concept that we had before. We have the concept of Eva. If the husband gives so much to the wife, then he'll be really upset at her. I feed you, I give you so much, and you find something, you keep it for yourself, so he gets to keep it. Umaisa yodel lebala. And this we had already. Umaisa yodayim, go to the husband. I'm just curious, did anybody ever find something really geschmack? Like walk in the street and find like $1,000? Anybody? A diamond ring? No? What did you find? 200 shekel?
800 shekel in Osharat.
800 shekel in Osharat. Not bad, okay.
They didn't want to take that.
Oh, the person didn't want to take?
No, I told us.
You're not supposed to really return money, okay, it's whatever. Chassid shaitan. We'll learn the halachas in the Bava Metzia. Money, because so money you don't really return, doesn't have a simon usually. Okay. And if she inherits something, the husband gets to eat the peiros again because he has to redeem her if she's captured. So here's the chart. There are 5 things that happen if somebody damages somebody else. Somebody, let's say, punches somebody in the face. You have to pay 5 different things. Nezek, tsar, ripoy, sheves, boishes. So the medical bills and that stuff, the husband pays out of his pocket. He gets paid. What about boishes? Embarrassment. Now, who's embarrassed here? L'chayra, the woman is embarrassed. She's walking around with a big swollen lip, whatever. And the fact that she's devalued, her value is less. So who gets it? Says the Mishnah, Shalah. She gets it. It's her own body. She gets to keep it. Rabbi Yehuda ben Meseira argues. If no one can see it, so the embarrassment is hers. She gets 2/3, and the husband gets 1/3. It's mancha begolid. When people can see it, it's on her hands, on her face, on her neck. Now he has to walk around with a beat up woman. It's more embarrassing for him, says the Mishnah, according to Rabbi Yehuda ben Meseira. So he gets 2 parts, she gets 1 part. The Gemara is going to talk about it like she suffers the embarrassment and he gets paid for it. Shaloi yinosim yad, and his 2/3 gets right away. Shaloi yilakach b'em karka, and whatever she deserves, buy some real estate, v'oichel peiros, and he gets to eat the produce. Says the Gemara, Ma'ikam Ashma. What's the Mishnah telling us here? Tanina, we already learned. We learned all these halachas. If you're going to compare a father to a husband, it's going to tell us that a husband has 1 up on the father. That what? A father, when he's Mekadesh, his young daughter, less than 12, he gets the Kiddushin. Kesef, Shtar, Bia. We already explained what all these things mean in terms of how this money he could decide to marry off for money to a Mukashchin. He gets, if she finds 800 shekel in Osharad, if she has a job, and he's able to annul her vows in Nidar. Mikabel is Gita again, if she's an Arusa, she's, right, because once she gets married, we learned that it's already, she leaves his domain, but if she's an Arusa, she's a Tana Arusa, he receives her get. Now, he doesn't get to eat the produce, her produce. Nises, once she gets married, the husband has everything that the father has, every one of those things. In other words, mitziyasa and maisiyodeha, the husband has. It says mufurish in the Mishnah. And he has more than that. He gets to eat the fruit. So nu, you see mufurish in the Mishnah that if a husband gets to eat, he gets the maisiyodaim, and if she finds an object, he gets to keep it. So why do you have to tell it to me again? Says the Gemara, you're right, I don't need it. The chiddush, the big chiddush is that her embarrassment and her devaluation goes to the husband. That's a machlokes plukta the Rabbi Yehuda ben Meseira, v'Rabbanan. Right? We saw in the Mishnah, Rabbi Meseira says 2/3, 1/3. Says the Gemara, Tani Tana Kamei the Rava, we had a Tana saying in front of Rava, or a person who read in front of Rava, not a Tana so much, because Rava was an Amar. When a woman finds something, she gets to keep it. Rebbe Kiva Omer Lebala, and Rebbe Kiva seems to be saying like our Mishnah that goes to the husband. Omer. So Rava asks this person reading the Brisa, Hashtu Maha Dafa. Now we all know what Hadaf is, right? Hadaf is when a woman works, she earns more than her basic earning, which she's supposed to make 5 shekel a day to give to her husband. She earns more. Zalman Tzvi, what's going on? How you doing? I missed you. Better come every day.
Come, go get to school.
Too bad. We all have to go to school. Daf comes first. Tell your Rebbe. Okay. Those days, I want to see, those days that you skip school, over here. Okay. The Maisi Odei. So Hadafa is anything above the 5 shekel is called the Hadafa the extra. And that's considered Maisi Odei. It's her own salary, her earnings. Oh, my Rebbe Kiva La'atzma. Rebbe Kiva says that anything above 5 shekel, she gets to keep mitziyasa, like kolshkein. So this is not even ma'aseh yadayim goes to the husband. Anything above ma'aseh yadayim, above 5 shekel, goes to her. So no, if she finds 800 shekel in the street, that's also above her ma'aseh yadayim. Certainly it should go to her. This nan, and how do I know this? It says, these are things we learned already. She makes a neder, she makes a vow that anything I earn doesn't go to you. What is that? A big fat joke. Why? Because everything she earns goes to her husband. She has no right to talk like that. And it's our offer. So if somebody says stupidity, you ignore it. He doesn't have to annul her neder. Rebbe Kiva Omer Yafer. And we learned, Rebbe Kiva says he does have to take it into consideration. Why? What if she goes above and beyond the 5 shekel and it's going to be hers? Oh, so here you see the Rebbe Kiva holds it's hers. It's hers, and by mistake, after she made the neder, the husband might take a little bit out of the bank account, which is really hers, and there's a neder against it. You better annul the neder, says Rebbe Kiva. Part of you see that everything above 5 goes to the woman. So everything above 5 goes to the woman. Certainly if she finds extra 800 shekel in the street, it should go to the wife. Says the Gemara, right? Ela Epoch. You have to flip the names around. The Shitas, the Machlokes is there, the names are messed up. Rebbe Kiva is not the one that says that it goes to the husband. Tanakama says it goes to the husband like our Mishnah. Rebbe Kiva, who's a Yachid, says that if she finds something, it goes to herself. Just like anything above the Ma'aseh Yadayim goes to herself. Says Gemara V'kas Ravin Omar Rabbi Yochanan B'Hadafa Shelo Yaldei Adchak. When it comes to Hadafa, anything extra Shelo Yaldei Adchak. Before I looked in Rashi, Shelo Yaldei Adchak means that it was hard for her. I don't know. How do you touch up Shelo Yaldei Adchak? Here, this is what Rashi says. There's a woman with a lot of energy, he says. That's what he says. And there's a woman with low energy. So a woman with a lot of energy, and she's geschikt, and she knows how to do things quickly, that's Shelo Yaldei Adchak. A woman who has low energy, Adchak. So when did she earn the extra? She earned the extra after hours. She doesn't know how to do it. She doesn't know how to make more than usual. A regular woman makes 5 shekel a day. This woman knows how to do it. She's very good with her hands. She makes 10 shekel a day. So that's Shelo Yaldei Adchak. So Shelo Yaldei Adchak the Baal Havi. The husband gets it. Ki pligi b'hadava shayidei adchak. When you go to the right side, she has a low energy. She doesn't produce. And the only time she produces more than 5 shekels because she works after hours. She's working at night, says Rashi. That's where we have a machlokes. Tanakama savar lebalo. Tanakama says it goes to the husband. Rebbe Kiva savar la'atzma. So Rebbe Kiva holds that when it's aidei hatchak, then comes Rebbe Kiva and says she deserves it. You know what? She worked so hard. She worked after hours. So aidei hatchak. She gets to keep it. But what if it's not aidei hatchak? Very easy, comes easy come, easy go, goes to her husband. What about a mitzvah? How hard did she work to find the 800 shekel? Nothing. She's walking down the street. She's in the Osharad. She looked down and she saw 800 shekel. She lifted it up. It became hers. So that even Rebbe Kiva would agree that what? She doesn't get it. That's considered Shelo Yaldei Adchak. When a woman has a lot of energy and she produces a lot, it goes to the husband. When a woman walks in the street and she finds a mitzvah, not. Says the Gemara. No, we're talking about a woman who had to work really hard for her mitzvah. For instance, first of all, to find the case, to find it, she went, Shalom Aleichem, guys. I didn't even notice you guys. I gotta say, Akar Satayv. By the way, it was unbelievable. They should start selling. He works in a place that they do beef jerky, and he brought for Shabbos, a bunch of beef jerky, like 6 different types. Unbelievable stuff. I'm not joking. I'm not trying to push the product. But
I got a bottle of wine. You got beef jerky?
I also got a bottle of wine. I got both. Yeah. No, not for the same guys. Anyways, what, you had these guys for Shabbos? So, Shaltiel, what's your last name? Weinberger. He's Nissan Gans's cousin. And you, what's your name again? Remind me? Aaron Friedman. From? Flatbush. Both learn in your Rebbe's yeshiva, I think. Eichenstein. No, different. What's your Rosh Yeshiva's Eichenstein? Yeah, but what's his name? You sure? Okay, different one. Okay. That's a Geshmak Yeshiva. They went to the Alps, the whole Zach. Okay, fine. Anyways, what's the name of that beef jerky? I gotta give my curse a Was it what?
Butcher's cut.
Butcher's cut. It's unbelievable. They should sell it here in B'Shemesh. It's mamish good stuff. The sweet one, was it maple? What? Sweet maple sriracha, sweet unbelievable stuff. I'm not joking. I'm not such a big beef jerky guy. That was good. Shkoyach, come again for Shabbos, please. No, just Omer Papa. I didn't notice these guys. Where are they hiding out? So many people hiding out here. That guy's also Shalom Aleichem, nice new guy. What's your name? Car? Garnett? Cognac. Okay, something like cognac. You didn't say that, but that's what it means, right? Okay, Shalom Aleichem. Let's go weiter. We got good stuff coming on, and he's going to shut down all systems in about 22 minutes, right? Give me a little extra time, please. I beg you. It's not my fault. You're going to love the pshat. Says the Gemara. So we're in the middle of this mitzvah. So she sees a bunch of fish that got thrown out of the river, overflowed of fish, whatever. So she has to lift up all these heavy fish. She has to go catch a deer that's lame. It's not pashut. It's not like she just bends down and picks up 800 shekel. So it's considered ayidei adchak. It's considered something that she worked hard for after hours. In that case, Rabbi Akiva says, it goes to her. Plukto the Rabbi Akiva Rabbanon. Boy Papa. I called up Yoshi just for this case. I thought it'd be a phenomenal picture, but he let me down. No, he's very Erev Shabbos. He couldn't do it. But imagine if we had an artist that could do this. Check this out. The first case is something, but the second case, I started doing it myself. It just didn't come out good. Boira Papa. She did 2 jobs at once. Now, every woman, she's on the phone and the microwave and this, fine. But this one, the boy says unbelievable. If she did 4 jobs at once, how do you do 4 jobs at once? Says Rashi. And this is a picture. I imagine this picture. I thought if you could depict this, it would be unbelievable. I'm changing a little bit from, Rashi says she's warming up eggs in her lap. I wanted a woman sitting on a bunch of eggs. At the same time, she's watching a cucumber field, teaching how to sing, and also knitting, weaving. Okay, those are the 4 things, says Rashi. Imagine the picture, it'd be unbelievable. Classic. So, is that considered ayidei adchak? Not ayidei adchak. Teiku. Because at the end of the day, yes, she's doing a whole bunch of stuff, but it's happening in one shot. Okay. Says the Gemara, Bashtu B'Gama, Maskiv L'Rova Barav Chanan, Elameata. Now the Gemara doesn't understand. How is it possible? I am embarrassed in public, something terrible happened to me, and my husband is going to get the money for that? It doesn't make sense. Poor woman, she has busha, and the payment goes to the husband. Elameata. What if I embarrass the horse? So now the Gemara takes it to another step. Do you understand that if it's the busha happened to another individual, like a horse, the owner should get busha for it? Says the Gemara, you can't even embarrass a horse. Okay, fine. Ella, what I meant to say is, let's refine the question a little bit. What if I spat on the clothing? I didn't spit in his face, I spat on his clothing. Do I get boishes for that? So my wife is like my clothing. It's not on me. It's not, the busha didn't happen to me. I have my clothing. Yeah, maybe you have to pay for that. If somebody spit on somebody else and the spittle hit him, and he removed somebody's shaitel in middle of the street, this is a raya that you're allowed to wear a shaitel. Okay, fine. I didn't see anybody talk about it, but it says here, oh, maybe not. Okay, so there's a tichel, fine. There was a true story here in Eretz Yisrael. A frum woman was held hostage. You guys remember the story? Frum woman was held hostage, and the guy was holding her with the gun, the whole thing. And then, he decided, okay, he's going to grab her by her hair and like do something, and he grabbed it right here, and she made her run for it. She left her hair in his hand, and as soon as she ran, they shot the guy and they killed him. Yeah, check it up. I'm not making this up. So part of Rosh Isha, it's like come like b'dirabini. He was just over and removing her sheitel, so he deserves to die. Oh, okay, fine. Vehever talisim imenu chayiv litein loy arba mezuz. You have to pay 400 zuz. But we're talking about the spit case. So we see in Florida, if you spit on somebody's clothing, you're not chayiv 400. You chayiv if you spit in his face. So says the Gemara. So why is it that if somebody spits on my wife, I get paid? Says the Gemara, bebigdoi lesli zilusa. If somebody spat on my clothing, no, it doesn't do anything to me. Ishtoi isla zilusa. It belittles him. He gets insulted. He's hurt by the fact that you spat on his wife. But that you hurt his wife. What if you took a poor person that comes from a good family? This now they're all embarrassed. How is it possible? Again, the question, the bottom line is, they're asking, how is it possible I embarrass Reuven and have to pay Shimon? So if I embarrass somebody's family by embarrassing one of the members, I have to pay the whole family? Now, I think Tosfos says over here, yeah, Ani ben Toivim, he says, very interesting. Why does the Gemara say a poor person? If I embarrass a wealthy person, his whole family should get paid. No, because a poor person, interesting aside, I don't understand it completely, but they have to take care of this. Since he's poor, the whole family takes care of him. And because they let him down, now they should get paid. Says the Gemara. Omarlei. So here's the difference. Hasam lav gufayu. Hacha ishtoi gufei have. Interesting. We know ishtoi gufei. So when you insult my wife, you're insulting me. I was just thinking, like at the same time, you're stealing away the thing she found on the floor. Give it to me. Wait a minute, it's not me. We're one. I thought we're just no. Give it to me. Your salary goes to me. Everything goes to me. But and guess what else goes to me? When you get embarrassed, it goes to me because you're like me. But it doesn't go that way. It only goes this way. Fine. A guy just wrote me an email. Maybe I should read it. He said I should read it anonymously because he fell asleep doing whatever daf, and when he wakes up, his wife says, "Oh, I just heard the whole daf, and you have to buy me jewelry." My son, he wrote me a thing, and he says, "Please don't mention my name in case my wife listens to that chair that you read the email." I'll just read it tomorrow. Get another laugh. It says the Heilige Mishnah. What's the Mishnah? Sponsored by Moshe Kol zchus for leaving that Torah and continue hatzlacha in Parnasa. A guy, a shver, wants to be large to his son-in-law. He says, "Listen, you marry my daughter, here's $1 million," and the chassan dies. Here, I have a thing. Oh, you see? The guy from Monsey, it makes a lot of sense. He's promising cash to Reuven. Now, what happens is, because Reuven is not here on Shabbos, it's not a problem. Reuven goes bye-bye. So, Shimon, who's sitting next to Kay, doesn't get any of that cash. Why? Because if you go back here, the chassid from Monsey, he only was giving cash to Reuven. Shimon is a much better guy. He's more outstanding guy. No, I like Reuven. I don't like Shimon. I decided to give. So what if my daughter now falls liyibum to you? You don't deserve the money. I want to give to your brother Reuven. The Gemara says, even if he's a bigger Talmud Chacham, a better guy, whatever. No, it's a personal preference. I like Reuven. I don't like Shimon. Now it's very interesting. We're going to go through the same case over and over 4 times in the Mishnah. This is a hagdama to that case. The wife says, "I'm bringing in $1,000 in cash, 1,000. Who poisek kenegdon? He must write in his ksuba how much? How much is he responsible for? She brings in 1,000. Guess how much he's responsible for? 1,500. Responsible for 1,500. Who poisek kenegdon chomesh esrei mana? Okay. Let's see if we have a picture here, a thing. So first of all, here's dinner again. I'm sorry, Shabbos, he asked me to do it in Hebrew, but you know what? People that don't know dollars and quarters, it doesn't make any sense to them anyways. People from other countries struggle with this. This is just for Americans, basically. Do you know about this stuff? Quarters and dimes? Okay, so she said she's bringing in 1,000 dinners. Okay? 1 mana is 100 dinners, 15 mana is 1,500 dinners. Now, it just goes like this. Just to explain what I said the other day, I said it 100 times before, it's a little bit of a hard concept to understand. So here's a little bit of a graph. If she brings in 1,000, it's 500 plus 500 equals 1,000. So he has to give her 1,500. Now, if you're just looking at 500 plus 500, so how much does he have to add? 50%. He has to add 500, which is 50% of 1,000. But if you're looking at the total, after he adds the 500, you have 1,500 on the bottom. Now 500 equals 33% of the total. So in Gemara language, we always go with the bottom one. We go mille bar. So it's 500, 500. The total, so you take off, they call it 33%. They call it a shlish, which in fact, in America, in England, and in our days, we call it 50%, not a shlish, we call it 50. It means the same exact thing, just how you view it. They're viewing the total, and you start from the end. Once you have 1,500, how much is 500 to 1,500? 33%, so they call it a shlish. He should add a shlish, meaning once you're done with it, it's a shlish. And we call it 50%, but it's the same exact thing. Okay, just wanted to show you that. Now, the Mishnah now gives us 4 cases that are literally identical. And I think it might be a good idea to say the Gemara, to explain a little bit of the Gemara, what the Gemara answers inside, instead of going back to here. Because when we see the Gemara, it's going to be on Amud Beis. It's going to be a little difficult to come back. So let's just do it together. If I can find it here. First of all, we're going to see. The first case that we just said now, which is not part of the 4 cases, is a bunch of cash. If she brings in cash into the marriage, he has to pay her back 50% more. Why? Because now he has a lot of liquid to do business with. There was a guy in Chicago, I was doing a lot of renovations back in the early 2000s, like 2005, 2000, whatever, 6, 7, 8. And there was a guy that kept on bringing dumpsters to these houses that was doing the renovations. So every time he would see me, he'd say, "Yo, Eli, tell me the trick. How do you make so much money? Like every day you're in a different house." So I used to ignore him. He used to bother me every single time. So finally I told him this, and I think there's a lot of MS to it. I said, the trick is you have to save money. Save money. I got to see like these guys, what happens is they make a little money and then they buy a nice car. They make a little money, they buy a big screen TV, a flat screen, whatever it is. Or if they have money, then they buy nice rims on the car. You gotta save money. If you have a little cash, then you can make money. You can buy a house, and then you buy a house, you can buy another house. You have to save money. It's just these wow, that's what it is? I said, that's what it is. You just start saving money, you're gonna be wealthy. Okay, thank you so much. Never ask me again. Fine. Cash is king. You have liquid, you can do business. You can buy a house on paper and just roll. You don't even need the full amount. You get a little money, you buy a house, and the rest is mortgage. You need money to make money. Okay. It's a simple side, but I think maybe some people don't even think about it. The young guys, so true. The young guys, no, let's immediately buy a new car. Let's immediately go on a vacation. No, sit back, save. Okay. Now, once in a while, I'll throw out the real estate tricks. Motzei Shabbos. Now, the next thing is, there are things that she brings into the marriage that are klei bayis, I call them. These are things that are for the house. A piano, a bed, a couch. The husband is not taking them and selling them. These are for the house. Now, what you do with that is, that loses value. A bed is going to lose value. A piano, if she bought it for $1,000, he's not going to give her in her ksuba that he's going to pay her a piano that's worth $1,000 because immediately it goes down in value. Cash goes up in value. You give me cash, I can make money with it. What am I going to do with the piano? It's going to get nicked, it's going to get dinged. And then you have Kalim La'asik. Now, why did I put that picture there? Because of the famous story that a guy went over to another person. He said, I have an unbelievable deal. I could sell you a whole container of tuna fish for 2 cents a can. He says, 2 cents a can? He makes a cheshbon. Tuna costs $2 a can, or whatever it costs today. 2 cents a can? Okay, I'll buy it. So the guy buys it, and then he goes ahead and he goes to his friend. He says, I have a whole container of tuna for 4 cents a can. It's 4 cents a can. It's a metzia. He buys it. And this is how it goes. The container of tuna keeps on going from person to person. It's 20 cents, 25 cents. Finally, it becomes like $1 a can. So the guy says, it's a great deal, but you know what? Let me open up a can. So he opens up the can. Spoiled tuna. So what are you doing? He says, this is not for eating. This is just for business. Okay. So that's why there's a can of tuna. She brings in a bunch of tuna into the marriage. This is stuff that you sell, you give off, you do business with. A lot of tuna, a lot of spoil, a lot of mashana, whatever it is, Kalim Lasik also goes down in value. Huh? Stefansky, I didn't want to do dagim, because then they come and sue me. My own mishpacha will sue me. Stefansky sues Stefansky. Okay, no. No name. Fine. No, there's stuff never spoils, by the way. It's a known thing. If I could say, I wasn't so happy with the tuna here in Israel, and then I had dagim tuna. I'm proud. And be'emes was on a whole different level. Because I think what they sell here is like different, or it's not the white, the Albert. I don't know what. It's a different. That if you could get your hands on dagim, trust me. Okay, now they're gonna say, before their favorite, the whole thing was that we went from tuna to Torah, and now he says Stefansky said you should buy dagim. Okay, whatever. Just take it out of the shir, Yosef. Just knock it out. Hapaisik mois today. I'm like on a roll. What is it called? Butcher cut. What? Huh? Butcher's cut. The best jerky in the world. Okay. Hapaisik mois. Okay. Now we're holding like this. Ukuneged ashum. Hu paisik pachais chaimish. He's gonna shut the shir down. He's going home. Just let it go. Let it stay. No, but I need the video. Oh no. He's shutting it down. No, but the Gershon, seriously, I need the video. Okay. Now, case number 1. Now, I want to show you this case inside so we get together. You see? Green. So we just said this case, but we just finished talking about how she brings in 1,000 dinar, which is a ton of money, and he has to give her 1,500 dinar. And immediately afterwards, it says, Ukeneged Hashum. Ukeneged Hashum means, when they come and they used to evaluate at a wedding, they would say, here, look, she's bringing a bunch of stuff, whether it's the piano or the tuna, whatever it is. They used to exaggerate, and they would add 25%. Okay? So, when there's shum, who pays pachais chaimish, he takes off 20%. Okay? They add 20%, he takes off 20%. Now, I'm just pointing out here, this is the chassan doing the shum. You see, that's why there's a chassan, and there's a lot of money here. On the bottom, the 4th case is also the chassan, but it's very little money. The 2 middle cases is the kala doing the assessment. It's a lot. It's a mana. Mana is very little, and then the 2nd case is our bamiyos. It's a lot. So we have the chassan and the kala. Each one has a lot and a little, and that's why we have 4 cases. That's the pshat in the Mishnah. Okay. So as we're going along, it'll be easier to see it inside. Just a simple thing. Next. Shum b'mana v'shavimana. Now, this is not one of the 4 cases. This is a little bit to throw us off, of course. Shum b'mana v'shavimana. What if she comes into the wedding, nobody exaggerated, nobody wants to make her look wealthy, and hey, look chassan, she's bringing so much tuna, This, it happens to be, she said it's worth 100, it's actually worth 100? Hey, so he only has to pay a mana. He doesn't have to add the exaggeration, or take off the exaggeration in his ksuba. However, shum bimana. Now, we're going back to the case. She comes in, this is the 2nd case. She comes in at the wedding, everybody's saying, wow, it's the piano, it's an antique, it's worth $10,000. You know there's a little bit of exaggeration there. As we said before, he has to take off 20%. Hino said shloishim ve'echad sela v'dinar. So, shum bimana, they came and they said it's worth 100. So what do you do? Let me see if I can find it real quickly over here. 25, you have 100. So he has to write in the Ksuba 125. Sorry. We got to do this one. Hold on. Okay. It's worth, here's the case. You see, it's worth a total of 1,000, or Rashi says like 1,000. He only gives her 800. He takes off a piece. Why? Because they're exaggerating. Okay. Next. Yeah, Yichap. You have 200, 200, 200. You have 5 times 200, which equals all the way at the end worth 1,000. But that's with their exaggerations. All their friends say, oh, the piano's worth 1,000. So in the Ksuba he writes the real value, which is 800. Okay. Next case. So we already had this case twice. This is the second time. Here it says, Shloishim ve'echad, 31 times 4. We said each cell has 4 dinner. 31 times 4 is 124. Plus Sela, Shloishim is 31 times 4 is 124. And Sela, V'dinar, and 1 dinner, which is 125. Now, third case. She says it came out of value of 400. Here it says, she says she's giving 500, he takes a chrais of 400. Next case, the fourth case, which is identical, Mashachas and Paisek, who Paisek Pachas Chaimish. Okay, so it's the same thing over and over and over. Just like this case over here. How much does he take off? 1 box is a fifth, 20%. Okay, it's 4 times the same thing. We're going to address that. If, in the case where we're talking about Reuven and Shimon, and the Shver, the Chassid, gives a nice nedunya to his son-in-law, it's only to that specific son-in-law. If the son-in-law dies, it doesn't go to the son-in-law's brother. Even if the second one is Amaretz, you think that it's better for the father-in-law to have this chashiv as son-in-law, and he should also give him the money. The father-in-law could say, I don't want to talk to you, I don't need you. Ask the Gemara, Hainu, Reisha. We have the same exact case in the first Mishnah we learned in the Mishnah today, in the Perek, the first Mishnah of the Perek. Says the Gemara, Tanashuma Rabba, Tanashuma Zuta, yeah? Look at the case. No, not here. A poisig mois lechasono, you meis chasono. No, not that case. Poskel achlis elev dinner. That case. Says the Gemara, we have 2 cases. Elev dinner is a lot of money. Tanashuma Rabbo, Tanashuma Zuto. Let me see over here. Okay. Tanashuma Rabbo, Tanashuma Zuto. Tanashuma Didei, Tanashuma. Sorry. So here we have Pascal Achlas Leil didn't ask the Gemara. We have all these cases, the 4 that we just spoke about, they're all redundant. All 4 cases are the same exact. So what's going on here? It says Gemara in a ratio. Tanashuma Rabba, Tanashuma Zuta. Tanashuma Didei, Tanashuma Dida. So what we have here is 1 case with a lot of money and 1 case with a little money. So it's 2 cases. Times 2 because 2 of them are the husband and 2 of them are the kala. So the first one is a lot of money because it comes right after the case of, like the Gemara brings it, of dinner. It's talking about 1,000 dinner. So it's a lot of money. So Keneged Shum is a lot of money. Then all the way in the bottom of the list is Masha Chassan Paisek is a little money, but both of them are the Chassan. And each one has a Chiddush. Fine. You think it only goes when the Chassan does the Shuma, not the Kala. No, you think it only goes by the Kala, not the Chassan. Great. The official Mishnah sponsored, first of all, we turned in honor of Yankee Baum and Moshe Horn, Brach Vatzal B'chol Yonim. L'zchus being able to support them in the Torah and to finish learning Shas with the Rebbe. Is it just me or is there condition? Okay. And the official mission is sponsored by Moshe Cohen, zchus for the Torah and continue hatzlacha and parnasa. They discuss it. No, it's not ribbis because it happens on the spot. It's a good cash. He's asking how it's not ribbis. She gives 1,000, he gives back 1,500 first to but no. But they say that's not the answer. They say because he gives it on the spot, he gives it on the, so it's whatever. Huh? Okay, I ain't shown, but they do discuss it. Says the Mishnah. Pascal Achmas like Sofim. She's bringing in money. Sala nasa shisha dinarim. We have a picture here. Here's a sela. How much is a sela worth? 4 dinar. So if we add 50%, in English it's 50%, in Gemara language it's a third, so it ends up being 6 dinar. If you end up at the end with 6 dinar, so you added a third. If you're looking at the 4, 50% of 4 is 2, you add 2, so you have 6. But kids, the bottom line is, if she brings in cash, the husband has to sign off that he's going to pay her back eventually, even if they get divorced tomorrow, but usually they don't. Since he's going to be using this for big business, and he doesn't have to save up now because she saved for him, he has to pay her 50% more. So this is very interesting. It's very, very difficult lashon. But basically what the Mishnah is saying here is if the chassan gets a box of perfume, he has to pay his wife 10%. What's going on? 10% when? Every day, every month, every year? Gemara asks. Rabbi Shimon Gamliel Omer, Hakol Kiminag Gamadina, everything is based on the minhag of the place. Says the Gemara, Hainu Poisik Kinegdam Chamisha Asar Mana. What is the Mishnah now saying? This case, you see this case? Is this any different than the case that we had over here? Where is that one? This one, not this one, this one. What's the difference? She said, I'm bringing you 4 dinars, he has to give her 6. Over here she said, I'm giving you, a different case. Because you know what I'm talking about. It's the same thing as the original Mishnah that we had in the middle of the Mishnah. If she says 1,000, he has to give her 1,500. Here, this case. 1,000, he has to give her 1,500. And if she says 4, he has to give her 6. It's the same exact case. Says the Gemara, Tana iska rabba, Tana iska zuta. We're talking about a big business deal and a small business deal. Utsricha. The Tana iska rabba, the Ofishel Ravcha, since he's making a lot of profit, so that's why he has to give her 50%. The zuta Ravcha, he has 1 pair of socks. You can't sell a pair of socks. You're going to start doing business with one little thing. So you don't have to pay ribbis on that. You think. No. The expenses are very low. The overhead. If you have very little stuff that she's bringing, the overhead is not that much. But if she brings in tractor trailers worth of stuff, now he has to do stores, now he has to people, so maybe you shouldn't pay so much. Great. What is going on here? My kupa. So the chazan has to pay 10% of whatever she brings in of this box. What's in the box? You know, in those days, showers didn't come so easy. They used to just pour on, like in France they do today, pour on a bunch of deodorant, you're good to go. Yerushalayim, this is what they did in Yerushalayim. No, it's okay. If you've ever been on a bus, you know what I'm talking about. Boy, Rav Ashi. There's 2 things we just said here. If you look at this chart, there's Mana Nishaim and Mana Miskabel. Or maybe this one. Let's do this one. Oh, it popped out for some reason. Why? Okay, like that. Mana Nishaim and Mana Miskabel. You have the actual value, and here we said it's 800. That's the actual value. If you go to an appraiser, he's going to say 800. But the people in the chasana, they're exaggerating for the kal, and they say it's worth 1,000. So now, when the chasana has to give 10%, is it 10%, let's say, of the 1,000 over here? So in other words, he has to give her 100, or he has to give her 80, because it's of the actual value. Says the Gemara. Now, let's be serious over here. It's only worth 800, so he has to give her 80. Let's give her on the first day of their marriage the 80, or every single day he has to give her 80. Now, Taisus asks, it seems from Rashi, every day I have to give 80. He says, Taisus, where's he going to come up with the money? It's only worth 800. Within a few days, he's not going to have any money left. What, for the rest of his life he has to give her 80? It's the best investment ever. She comes in with $100, and for every day of her life he has to give her 80. Or whatever it is, $800 every day, he has to give her 80. It's not fair. So that's why a lot of Rishonim learn differently, and they say it means the total, the 80. Do you give the whole 80 in one day, or you break it up over a few days? Because at the end of the day, you see from Taisus that If you look at Taisus, we'll see later that Taisus says that you only give whatever she needs, so she doesn't really need all 80 in one day. Okay. Now, Imtin Salami Kol Yom V'Yom, Shabbos Rishayna, I'll call Shabbos Shabbos. Is it every week that you have to give every day, or only 1 week? Only during Sheva Brachos. Imtin Salami Kol Shabbos Shabbos, you have to give every week, every day. Chodesh Rishon, call Chodesh V'Chodesh. Is it only for the first month or every month? Imtin Salami Kol Chodesh V'Chodesh, Shana Rishayna, call Shana V'Shana. Is it the first year, Shana Rishayna, or every year? Teiku, I don't know. Omer Ravid Omer Rav. Maisa B'Bita Shenagdim Ben Gurion. Gishmaka Maisa. I heard there's some Hasidim that take this name out of the Gemara. No, I just made that up on the spot. Seriously, I didn't even rethink that. I'm going too stark against Yisham today. I don't mean that. Fine. He was one of the wealthiest people. We had the other day Kalb Savua, Nagdim Ben Gurion also in the same generation, very, very wealthy. We're going to see how wealthy he was. Now, his daughter became an almana. So the Chachamim said, Arba mei zuvim lekubashel psamim leboy bayoim. Give her 400 zuhuvim. Now, Taisus, the Ramaskis Shapaskel Arba mei zuvim lekubashel psamim, says Taisus. Ofishel Mitzva Motivators. Elef alofim din rezav. How is this 1,000 times 1,000? 1,000,000. She and her Ksuva got 1,000,000 din rezav, which is a tremendous amount of money. So based on that, so Yosef, they should have given her much more perfume. Lefi cheshbon. As a din lemana, 10 times 10 for every 100 she should get 10. So Bekitzer she should get, I don't know what, 100,000. Kivin shaloi hoyser tzricha yoser loy paskulo. No, you're right. She deserves more, but she doesn't need more. They didn't say. Okay, next. Says the Gemara. Nagdim ben Gurion. Shepaskel chacham arba meizum lekupa shel psalm leboy bayoim amr lahem kach tifsikul b'nei seichem. The same curse that we had on Friday. That came from Nagdim Ben Gurion's daughter-in-law. This is the daughter. And the daughter cursed them, or maybe it's a bracha, some say, but she said, you know what? I deserve much more than that. This is what you should say for your daughters. Now, why did they say Amen? In the story that we had yesterday, they didn't say Amen, because she was a Yavama. But this woman wasn't a Yavama. She's married, she had children. So, and everybody dies. At the end of the day, everybody dies. So she said, it wasn't such a curse to say, that our daughter should be like you. Because the husbands die. The husbands, to say that you should be like the story on Friday, where she was a Yavama, died without children, that's a klala. But the amount of money was very significant. Halavai, our daughter should have so much money. She gets such a nadan. Tana Rabbanan. We have Agatha now, we have Agatha tomorrow. Maisa Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, she'roichav al-chamar. Vayotzim Yerushalayim is on a donkey. Get that video ready. We're about to show a video now. Vayotamidam al-cham acharav. And his Talmidim were behind him. He saw a young girl gathering barley from the dung of animals. Here, Rabbi Yosef, have a video. If Gershon could show it, I'd very much appreciate it.
Very fresh.
Yeah.
Trying to make us sick.
No, you have to visualize this. A from girl, was doing exactly this. This is where she found her food. This is elephant dung, which has a lot of geschmack of whole fruits and nuts. It's very good stuff.
That's not what you eat in your diet.
Okay, good. Next. Kivin Shirasa Isa in Isakva Besara Va'amda Lefanov. She covered her hair, or she took her hair and she covered her face. I thought it meant that she covered her hair, but my chavrusa thought that it meant she covered her face, and then I saw people discuss it. Okay. Amr Eloi, Rebbe Parnaseni. Look at me, look at my matzav. I'm eating dung here. Could you give me some parnasa? Amr Eloi, Biti Miyat, who are you? Amr Eloi, Bas Nagdimoy Ben Gurionani. I'm the daughter of Bill Gates. I'm the daughter of the wealthiest guy in Yerushalayim. Amr Eloi, Biti. What happened to his money? Amr Eloi, Rebbe, Loi Kidin Muslim Masal Yerushalayim. Don't they say this mashal in Yerushalayim? Melach Mamoin Cheser. Or Chaser. That's all. 3 words. Melach Mamoin. If you want to preserve your money, you know what you do? Chaser. You give tzedakah. Make sure you don't have money, then you'll have money. V'amrilah chesed. You do chesed, you'll have money. In other words, my father wasn't giving tzedakah. So I want to tell you an unbelievable zach, a vart, and this is a life-changing vart. First of all, it's in the Torah. Everybody knows the pasuk Uvechanuni no bezais. Hashem says about one mitzvah only. Try me, test me out. I'll prove to you that you should do this, and that is the mitzvah of tzedakah meiser. Test Hashem. You're not allowed to test Hashem in anything, but Uvechanuni no bezais. Test me, and I will show you. Meaning, so the Dubno Magid says. Unbelievable. Just very simple, but it brings out the point. The Uman says a guy went to a store and he saw a bunch of rope. Different bundles of rope. So he asked the guy, how many feet are in each bundle? He said, each one has 100 feet. 100 feet? You sure? Yeah, sure. He looks around in the box and he takes the smallest one and he opens it up and he measures it. And he sees, it's 100 feet. 100 feet, the guy didn't lie. And then he knew that everything else was 100 feet. Because if the smallest one is 100, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, test me on the most illogical mitzvah there is, and that is Meiser. How is it that if you take 10% of what you have, or 20% of what you have, and you give it to somebody else, you're going to have more money? It's the reverse of common sense. It doesn't make any sense. You give away from what you have, you're going to have less, not more. Test me. If I'm right on this one, then you have to believe me on everything. Test him. You give Meiser, you're not going to lose, you're going to gain. You're only going to gain. And that's what it says here. Melach mamain, if you want to preserve your assets, your money, chaser, you have to give. You have to take away from what you have. If you have to take away from what you have, then you get more. This billionaire didn't give. Says the Gemara, okay, so he asks, what about the Shver? He's also a pretty wealthy guy. Listen to this one. My money that I got from my chasana was all in one bank account. My father's treifa money was mixed in with my Shver's good money, with my father's good money. Sorry, my Shver's good money. My shver gave me good money. My father didn't do enough tzedakah, so it's bad money. You see from here a big side. You can't just take money. Some yeshivas don't take money from, Mechali Shabbos or whatever, because you don't want to mix good money and bad money. It has an effect on the other money, she said. I have nothing. Omeloi Rebbe, sorry, next. Bozeh, v'ibedezeh, unbelievable yisod. You remember? You were at my chasana and you signed the ksuba? So some people say, I saw, brought down. Over here you see that the one that reads the ksuba should be a chash of a person, it should be Talmid Chacham, it's a big kibbut. I remember and I read the ksuba, Elef alafim, 1,000,000 diris of golden coins. Where a gold coin today costs what? $1,000, whatever it costs. It's a lot of money, gold coin. 1,000,000 golden coins. Who knows? Besides what she got from her father-in-law. I don't know, I was just thinking when I learned it, maybe he was very wealthy, because you see, he asked him. But if not, then it reminds me of the story of, there was a Rockefeller, I don't remember who was the wealthy guy here in Eretz Yisrael? Rothschild. So a guy said, if I was Rothschild, I would be much wealthier than him because I'm also a Rebbe in Cheder. So, okay, over here also, like, you have the 1,000,000 golden coins that her father gave her, plus you have the 200 zchus that's in the ksuba, the base of via, the base chamia. Fine. Chutz mishel chamia. Bacher Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai v'Omar. Rabbi Yochanan said, "Ashreichem Yisrael b'zman sho'isim b'tzon nisham bakim ein koluma v'loshin sheletes b'hem." If Klal Yisrael does what they're supposed to do, nobody can touch them. But if they don't do what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants, they get taken over by a disgusting nation. Not even a nation. Then you have to eat the tzoya. So the Marsha says over here, beautiful. He says Klal Yisrael doesn't have a mazel. What does Klal Yisrael have? They have HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So when they're doing great, HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes them. He can't get better than that. But when they're doing terrible, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu leaves them. And when he leaves them, they don't have a mazel. Where all the nations have a mazel, they're at least protected somewhat. We're not protected at all. We go to the bottom of the bottom. V'nagdim ben-Gurion le'ovad tzedakah, what? Nagdim ben-Gurion wasn't about tzedakah, but Tanya, Amr Nagdim ben-Gurion, he gave a lot of tzedakah. What are you talking about? Every day, when he walked to shul, or to learn, Melas Hoyu Matzim Tachtav, top of Samach Zayin Aleph. They would take these clothing, and remember in the time of the Gemara, clothing was extremely expensive, all handmade. They take from his house, I don't know what, 2 blocks long, just clothing, and he would walk on it, a big, chashuv, rich guy, and all the poor people grabbed clothing as he walked, kept on walking. That's a tremendous amount of tzedakah. Some say no, it's not counted. You know why? Because he did it for his own honor. He was a balgaiva. He wanted to walk to shul on clothing. And this is unbelievable. Why do we have such a tiny name? Because he's a billionaire. A billionaire is not supposed to give 10%. A billionaire should give 50%, 60%. Shtevin used to tell the wealthy guys, he's supposed to give 50. Each person and what he could give. You can't say, he's such a balzdaka, he gave mamish thousands of dollars, but he's a gazillionaire. He makes $100 million a year. So a few $1,000s that you call him balzdaka, we don't call him balzdaka. The Gemara says he lost everything. The stronger a camel is, that's how much he can carry. The wealthier a person is, that's how much tzedakah he has to give. Tanya, and then we're going to be finished over here because Gershon has to go. Tanya, so over here you have to, the Gemara says it in Lashon Naki. It doesn't say, he said the word loy. We take out the word loy because it's not nice. He said, loy yera ben Chama. I'm not going to see the rebuilding of the Beis Hamikdash. But you don't talk like that, so the Gemara takes it out, but we understand what he meant. I'm going to see the rebuilding of the Beis Hamikdash. I saw with my own eyes. It's like a shvuah. I promise that I saw this. If not, the Beis Hamikdash shouldn't be. I saw her literally, like the video, going through the stool of a horse. I said this pasuk, Imloiseidi is a lashon of, if you don't learn Torah, you know what's going to happen? Then you're going to have to be a shepherd. There's no need to work that hard if you learn Hashem's Torah and do His mitzvahs. But you don't want? Okay, so go work. You'll be a shepherd. Big ve'atzoin, uri is gidei yisayich, and you'll shepherd the goats. Says the Gemara, tikri gidei yisayich, don't say goats, ela gidei yisayich. You yourself are going to have to go and earn all that and work like that, and Chas Shalom have to come to what she came to. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful week. A good Voch. Thanks for coming.